Hey guys, so it is Tuesday, March 15th. Today may be the scariest day ever being an American. Today is the day that, with the primaries apparently for the presidential election, depending on who wins today, it may seal up the elections in the fall to be Trump versus Hillary Clinton. Yeah, I just don't know what to say about that. It's like, really? Really? These two? It's so funny, like, with these elections, because it's so, like, everybody's like, vote against Trump, or vote against Hillary. And here's the thing, I want to vote against Trump, and I want to vote against Hillary. And so the problem is if Trump goes against Hillary, yeah, I just don't know what to do about that. Can I write in SpongeBob SquarePants? I vote SpongeBob SquarePants 2016. Oh, that's just going to be a horrible mess. But anyways, I was going to show you guys something just so you guys know. So we've been doing the whole mouse migration. So our house got full of mice there in that second wall. I've talked to you guys about how my house is built. So basically there's two walls. There's the internal wall that's all nice and pretty, and then the outside wall that the siding goes on. And so it's very pretty, but it gives a lot of space for mice and all that to get into. And so we got these live traps that actually work very well. They're Victor, like 10 houses or whatever. They cost $10 a piece and they're awesome. They're so good, I just bought like another 3. So we have like 6 of these things in the house. And the cool part is they trap multiple mice at one time. So we've had up to like 3 mice in a single trap. So we've been collecting all of them. We've collected like 30 or 40 at this point, and then we take them out and let them loose. But a lot of people have said, well, Eli, how do you know they're not getting back in your house? And the reason is, I know that, is because this is the base of our house. So as you can see here, this is all nice and cement, and there's not any gaps here. And then if you look up, when we had the siding done, I made sure literally all the siding and everything was caulked. So there are no gaps there. And then if you look over there, there were like some gaps or whatever. And then I spray foamed the ever-loving crap out of them. I have to make that look a little prettier. But as you can see, like, all of the gaps have been sealed up. So as far as the mice go, I do believe we are finally winning on the mouse front, because it finally started slowing down. Now that we got 6 traps in there and we're collecting, yeah, it's slowed down. It's slowed down a lot. I think we've only pulled out like one mouse all of today. So yay, right? And it is something like to realize with mice. It's like you sit there and you catch one mouse and you feel all good about yourself. Like, haha, I caught one mouse. But you don't really realize like how many mice can be in your walls. We actually had to deal with a mouse infestation with a poison once, just because there were like so many. We had a house in the city and we didn't realize it. We were like, oh, a couple of mice, no big deal. And then, oh my golly, like within a 2-week period, it went from a couple of mice to like hundreds of mice. And so I had to use poison to get rid of those poor little bastards. But yeah, so that's one reason too, like not for the vegan thing, not for like being nice to animals or whatever, but one of the reasons that I would argue for using the quote-unquote humane mouse traps, or at least the Victor metal mouse traps that we got, again, isn't for the humane or the vegan thing, but more that it's just a hell of a lot more effective, right? Because you put out one snap trap, and best case scenario, it catches one mouse. And then you've got to go and you've got to reset it and you got to deal with all that kind of stuff. The cool part with these is you put it down, and like I say, we can get up to 3 mice per trap at one time. You put them all throughout the house, and they just kept collecting and collecting and collecting. And they really do work. Like, I don't know why, but the mice really do damn near seem to run into those things. I mean, like, literally, I have put them down sometimes, and within 30 minutes, there's already mice back in them. So yeah, it really works. So if you have a mouse problem, definitely take a look at the Victor things, because it deals with them. really does. So I haven't done one of these videos for a little bit because I've just been feeling like crap, to be honest with you. It was nice and sunny and beautiful. So for like a few days, it was so sunny and so nice. I literally got a sunburn, and then it went just to be like cold, nasty as crap, like down to 30 degrees and all that kind of stuff. So it's back to being a little bit warm again. And then also on Saturday, I don't know what the hell happened. I ate some, I went to Whole Foods to buy some stuff. And there's a Whole Foods in Annapolis. And the Whole Foods in Annapolis, oh, they've got this hot bar there. Oh, and their hot bar has some good meat. It has like the good meat. Not like, oh look, they got meat. It's like the really good meat. It had some ribs and some other stuff. And I was just in seventh heaven eating that meat. And then I don't know what happened, but that stuff like just clogged me up. And it clogged me up in a weird way. It wasn't even just like constipation, but it felt like it just kind of turned into a ball in my stomach. And it actually stayed there for like a few days. So it's Tuesday, right? That was Saturday. So this is the first day, like I feel like I'm going to the bathroom normal again. And I don't feel like I just have this weird ball in my stomach. So I have no idea what the hell that is about. It's like, what the hell? It was so good. It was tender and succulent. Oh, it was just great. Wasn't worth that 3 days. I don't know what the hell that was. But anyways, so as of today, I am at the 203 mark. A little sad about that. But as I say, something has gone on with whatever the hell I put in my stomach on Saturday. Because like I've been doing like a lot of things, like just to clear out my system. Like I've just been eating like a lot of fruit. And I've even had like two dinners that were just like pure vegetables. So nice dinner I found, nice dinner is throw a tablespoon of sesame oil in a pan, and then you throw an entire bag of broccoli, an entire bag of cauliflower in there, crisp it up, get a nice brown coating on them, throw in a little salt, maybe some sesame seeds. But like I had that for like 2 meals, and it actually satisfied me, because whatever the hell is going on, plus like other meals, which were essentially just fruit. So actually, technically, I've been eating lighter these last couple of days, but yeah, whatever the hell got in my system, whew, that was just brutal. So hopefully now I can get back to what I was doing. I am happy on the exercise front though, because I really feel good with exercise. So you know, that first week I started out, oh, that was pain, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'd exercise, I'd feel it that day, I'd feel it the day after, I'd feel it the next day after that, right? But now I do have to say, after doing these exercises, I guess we're in the third or fourth week now, I feel good. Like I go and I work out really hard. Like I work out to the point of failure during the exercise routine. You know, it's one of those, I'm kind of like hobbling. I'm hobbling out of the gym. But then I have to say, by noon, I'm feeling pretty good again. Noon, I'm feeling back in the game. So that's a good thing. I think what I'm gonna start doing is, you know, we were talking about that whole toning thing like last week. And so what I've decided to do is I'm gonna start focusing on cardio. So now that I feel decent, I'm gonna focus on cardio as my primary exercise. So they do spinning 3 days a week, and then they do whatever the hell it is, like this weird, like, I don't know, weight aerobic thing, another 3 days a week. So what I think I'm gonna do is in the morning, I'm just gonna focus on that, focus on the cardio thing. So that's the most important thing to me anyway. And then, since I'm feeling good, and since I'm kind of bored, I don't really have a lot else to do. I figure what I'll do is at night, whenever I'm feeling good, I'll go, and in the afternoon, I'll do the weights. So that way I'm constantly doing the cardio, which is what's really important to me anyway. And then at night I can go and I can do the weights. Gives a nice all-around good exercise routine. Should be a good way to go. Should be a good way to go. Because I like the feeling in the morning. Like I say, you get done, like it's so cool now. You get done with like an hour of exercise before like 7 o'clock in the morning. And it's really nice. And the other thing I do have to say that I like with this stuff, so I've done exercising and all that all my adult life, again, whether it's martial arts or it's military or other stupid crap. And one of the things that's always been hard with exercise though, is it's always pushed you, they don't push you like the other things that I've done. Unfortunately, it's as much about mental training as it is about exercise. And unfortunately, the mental training that they're trying to bang into your head is to get you to go against your brain's safety alarms. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, how do I say this without sounding, whatever. But you go into a situation and you got to keep moving. I mean, it doesn't matter if you hurt. So if your knee hurts or your wrist hurts or if something else hurts, it doesn't matter. If you stop, really bad shit's gonna happen. You gotta just keep going. And so one of the things like I've noticed like doing these exercises is all the exercises I've done in the past, again, this is much about breaking down those mental barriers, about continuing past pain, as it is about actually getting in shape. And so I've been a little nervous about doing these exercise programs because it does do damage to your body. I mean, I have real permanent injuries from that stuff. And so, you know, you don't really want to, you know, exacerbate that kind of thing. And so what I really like is going into this, and even though it sounds goofy in a way, it sounds really like not much of anything, but like what I like about these low impact exercises is you can go in there, you can really strain. It's like your muscles feel the pain, it's not your joints. And again, for any of you guys out there that know what I'm talking about, you know, like there's a muscle soreness that makes you feel good versus there's another kind of pain that isn't so good for the body. So I really kind of like this because I get to feel like I get to go in there, I get to sweat, I get to exercise, and I mean, I guess there may be some repetitive injury over the long run, but it's nowhere near as bad as the other stuff, because like I say, the other stuff is just brutalizing to you. I mean, like I say, it's you know, that's what nobody understands about, like when you martial arts, like with fighting. The thing is, like all the noobs out there, all the people that haven't done anything, you know, they're all the chair-born rangers, as they say. What they all think fighting's about, they think fighting really is about, you know, hitting the other guy. You know, you parry, you block, you defend, and then you, right, and the other guy. That's what they think it's about. Sad fact of the matter is, what it's really about is learning to take a punch. Learn to take your first punch, learn to take the second punch, the third punch, the fourth punch, and still having enough brain power left, or at least lizard brain power left, to at that point do something horribly quite vicious to the other side. But that's what nobody like realizes. And so like so much of like real, like the martial training, combat training, like I say, it's about you taking fucking damage day in and day out, so you get used to it. So then when it happens in the real world, that ain't nothing but a thing, right? You know, that's the thing, is like you see these people that like get hit or whatever, and they can shake it off. And it's not because they're somehow stronger or whatever. It's because they're so used to take. It's like when you go into a ring and you're willing to hurt somebody in a training session. Then when you go out in the real world, a lot of people seem like pansies, because you're just like, fuck, right? Oh, I was doing this the other day, right? And so, but that's the problem, like I say, as you get a little older, now that I'm getting to be 40, is you start to feel the aches and pains, you start to feel the injuries. Like I say, my wrist is a permanent injury, my elbow is a permanent injury, my back's a permanent injury. You know, there's a couple of clicks. You feel those clicks. You know, the clicks where you're like, you know, that's not even an injury yet. That's not an injury yet. Oh, but it will be, won't it? It will be. So, so for any of you guys out there, like I say, I know doing spinning and low impact aerobics or whatever the hell they have seems like really goofy as hell, but I'm telling you, you go in there, and I mean, I sweat, and in some ways I hurt as much as I did with any other training. But like I say, you come out and you don't have to worry about your permanent injuries, right? Anyway, so I'm happy about that. So that's where I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to do the cardio 6 days a week because I'm feeling good with it. And then go into the evening and do the muscle building and all that kind of stuff. And basically my thought with this is that, like right now I'm motivated, I'm into it. And if I can spend the next few months, like I say, get the weight down, get the exercise up, then the idea is, you know, and let's say 6 months, then go back down into a more normal routine, like only in the morning or whatever. But as I say right now, you know, I've got the time. You know, that's one of the funny things with like so many people. They're like, oh, you know, how are you gonna do it? And it's like, you know, I mean, like I say, I mean, especially if you don't have kids. Like I'm married, I've got a house, but we don't have kids. Like if you don't have kids, and you've got a decently reasonable job, again, what the hell else are you gonna do in life? It's so funny, people are like, oh, Eli, that must be nice. I just don't have time to do that. It's like, you know, the average American watches 3.5 hours of television every day. You know what I'm saying? 3.5 hours of television. So I'm not even telling you, again, like I'm not moralistic, I'm not ethical in any of this stuff. I'm not saying throw away your TV. I'm not saying get rid of your TV. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying if the average American watches 3.5 hours of TV a day, why not just do 2.5 hours of TV with an hour of exercise? I mean, do you really need 3.5 hours? 2.5 hours is a pretty decent amount of TV, especially in the modern world with like Netflix and all that, with where you don't even have to watch like commercials. So like, you know, we watch Netflix and Hulu, so with no commercials, like an hour show is only 45 minutes. So, I mean, 2.5 hours is still three, at least. That's like 3 full-length shows with a sitcom thrown in there. You can still watch every day and go out and get a little bit of exercise. So again, one of those just things to be thinking about there, because everybody's like, oh, Eli, I don't have time. It's like, how do you not have time? I know so many people like that. They're all like running around like, I don't have time. I just never quite understand how these people just don't have any time at all. I think it's more like time management. Prioritization. Do you want to be healthy? Do you want to be healthy or not? I saw that, Barnacules, right? So I follow Barnacle. I watch some Barnacles YouTube videos, and he has a Twitter thing. And I don't know if you know Barnacles, Jerry, good guy. But one of his issues is, boy, that boy is overweight. And oh, before you give me any crap about that, he says it quite a bit that he's overweight. He does many video posts and many Twitter posts about being overweight. And he also gets like weird fucking diseases and shit. He has weird things going on with him. He has like gout that he talked about, and then he has like these weird dots that showed up on. Oh my god, that guy is just like, what the hell? But anyways, it was kind of funny because he did a Twitter post like last week or something, saying, you know, do you want to live forever if it feels like crap, or do you want to feel good and not have as long to live, right? And one of the things I replied to him is, you know, I remember when my stepfather basically said the same thing, right? My stepfather, he said, you know, who wants to live to 90 or whatever, or who wants to live forever if you got to eat sticks and twigs? It's like, man, I'd rather give up a few years of my life than give up good food. And then he died at 43, brain aneurysm. Of course, nobody wants to say that, you know, he was a chain smoker who was incredibly depressed after getting out of the Navy, who was very overweight, all that. No, that's not why it happened. But anyways, I always remember that. So that's one of the things like I sent off to Jerry. And that's one thing for you guys to think about too, is like, we have to realize, like with exercise, like I could fall over from a heart attack. I could be like walking down here. Oh, that's kind of creepy. That'd be ironic. Spaghetti monster, I didn't mean it. I did not fucking mean that, spaghetti monster. I swear to Christ. Anyways, you know, I could be walking down here and have a heart attack, theoretically. But the thing is, and that's one thing like a lot of people don't realize, like with exercise and health and all that kind of stuff, is it's kind of more like one of those things like, you know, playing the odds and understanding that you don't get to decide, you know, like how much shorter or how much longer something is. Like, if you treat yourself healthy, you will most likely live longer, unless you get hit by a bus. So, but that doesn't mean you get decades longer. It's not like you live 20 or 30 or 40 years longer. And if you treat yourself like crap, it's not like you get to say, you know, it's only 5 years off. And so again, that's just one of those things to be thinking about, like I say, with your own health, is like I say, with exercise and all that, is, I mean, I don't even want you guys to think about like going way out of your way. I don't want you guys to think about giving up and sacrifice. Oh, the sacrifice. But just think about that, right? If you spend 3.5 hours a day watching TV, how hard is it just to spend 1 hour exercising, right? And it's not only that you'll live long. I think that's one of the funny things, like people, that they feel like they live longer. But if you go out there, you feel better. Like I say, I honestly feel better. It's really cool. I mean, it's cool to be done with a spinning class. And I'll be pouring down, like this morning, I was just pouring down sweat. I was in so much pain. Like I say, hobbling out of the gym. And then by noon, I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, I feel good, right? So you go there, you exercise, you feel good, you lose weight, you slim down. And you're like, is that worth giving up 1 hour of television? That's the only question I have. You know what I'm saying? Like, 1 hour of television, is that worth it? Oh, one of those things to be thinking about. I did go out today, and I did I bought my new pants today. I'm very happy with buying my new pants. So I did go against one of my rules, though, buying my pants today, because I came in at 203, and I haven't officially been down to 200. So normally for me, like with the weight thing, it's like I give myself 200 is the limit. Under 200, I get to buy the 34s. Over 200, I'm forced to wear the 36s. But my old 34s had died while I was on my trip doing all the hiking and all that kind of stuff. And so why I bought my 34s today is because actually my 36s have gotten looser on me. Again, one of those weird things, and why you have to be careful with the weight. Like with all these numbers, with all these metrics, you always got to be careful with them, right? I mean, they're good for seeing what path you're on. The specifics aren't necessarily the greatest. And so what I found is that my 36s have actually gotten way too loose. So even though I'm at 203, I guess the muscles are tightening up, or I don't know, I've lost water weight. I'm not gonna make it to be what it's not. For whatever reason, they've gotten way too loose on me. And so normally, especially since my job is basically being on YouTube, I would have still suffered through wearing 36s, even if they were too big. I would have just used my belt. But I have INE next week. So INE is this online training company, and they're paying me to go down for the whole week down to Durham, North Carolina, to do interviews. Just sit there and talk to people, right? And so since I'm going to be going down, I'm going to be dealing with real people in a real business environment, I want to make sure I have pants that like fit and look proper. It's not fitting as in too small or too big, but it's like so they don't look like freaking burlap sacks on me. So what I decided is, since the other ones are obviously too big, I went out and I bought 2 pairs of the smaller jeans today, and I do have to say they feel good. They feel like they actually fit me. So there we go. I broke one of my rules, and I figured I'd buy them today just so I could kind of wear them in by next week. So I buy Lucky jeans. If you guys have not ever owned a pair of Lucky jeans, go to a Lucky store and try on a pair of Lucky jeans. Now I know everybody nowadays, they have their own personal favorites for jeans, but I do have to say Lucky jeans are just like, there is something about how Lucky's makes their jeans. The denim is just something like entirely different. It's denim obviously, but it's this very light denim. It's this very soft, very comfortable denim. But the thing is with it is it does start to like form to your body. So depending on how your body is over a little bit of time, it stretches in particular areas. So like Levi jeans are fine. Like if you're gonna go out there and go do man work, Levi jeans are fine. Levi jeans are actually better than Lucky's because they really are much more robust. But they are like, they're the shape they are. You know what I'm saying? You put on a pair of Levi jeans and you will bend to the Levi's. Levi's will not bend to you. The thing is, like with Lucky jeans, they actually like spread. You know what I'm saying? Like they kind of squish out, or they stretch in the areas you need them to. And so that's why I bought them today too. So I got a couple of pair, and I can wear them both a few days before I go down to INE, just kind of get them stretched out a little bit. Because again, one thing you have to be thinking about, like I say, in professional environments, a lot of you yahoos don't realize this, but in order to feel relaxed, in order to look relaxed, in order to look in charge, you can't be in clothes that feel like crap, right? If you are in clothing that feels like garbage, that is too tight or too loose, and just makes you feel like an idiot, then how the hell are you gonna be suave? You can't be rico suave in like clothes that you yourself feel are garbagey, right? It doesn't matter what anybody else feels like, It's not like what they think, it's what you think. Because if you feel like you look like crap, if you feel as if the clothing and everything that you wear is garbage, then you're going to present that, right? So you want to walk in, how you walk in all smooth, how you walk in all slick, is you feel smooth, you feel slick. And so that's something to really be thinking about. I know like a lot of people, it's so funny, like you see some of these yahoos, and they come in with like the crappiest clothing in the world on, and you just look at them, and you're like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like if there's anything that you're gonna spend a decent amount of money on, one of the things you should spend some money on is clothing, right? And especially even things like jeans, like pants. You don't have to it's not like you have to have like 10 pants. So like going to Lucky's, Lucky pants cost a decent amount of money, but like I don't need 20 of them. I need 2 pairs of jeans is fine. So you go, you spend, how much it costs for 2 nice pairs of jeans, and then you wear them, I say you feel good, right? I see so many people, they go into business environments, they just have the crappiest clothes. They have like that Target shit on. And you can just tell, they just feel uncomfortable, they feel hot, they feel like they just look stupid. And then that's what they present to the world. Whereas you go, you get some nice clothing, you go to the Nordstrom, you go to some places, you come in, and like I say, you feel. It's how you feel. It's, you know, microcosm, macrocosm. People treat you based on how you present yourself to the world. If you present yourself to the world as comfortable and confident and strong, people will treat you that way. And the thing is, you know, I know a lot of people, oh, you lie, that's, you know, you're just doing this self-help crap. But again, what I want you guys to think about is don't believe anything I say. Do not believe anything that I say. What I want you to do is I want you to listen to what I say. And then I want you to go out in the world. I want you to observe other people. And then I want you to observe how you react to other people, right? And just think about it that way. Like before anybody has even opened up their mouth, or you go to like a business networking function, or you go into the office, and before anybody's opened up their mouth, just look around at people and think about what your opinion is of these different people before they have said a single word. And now you guys know it. Nobody wants to admit it. Because everybody's supposed to be, well, you got to look beyond, you know, there's more to a book than its cover. And then you want to talk, you know, all this hippy-dippy crap, right? But at the end of the day, most of our reactions with other people are solidified within a millisecond. Somebody walks up to you and puts their hand out to shake your hand, and you have already decided. Man, you haven't even touched their hand yet. You haven't even shaken it, right? It's still a foot away from you, and you have already decided how you're going to deal with this person, basically the entire time you'll ever know them. And think about that, really. Like, think about all of your relationships. Girlfriends, boyfriends, spouses, business relationships, best friends, right? When was it really decided? When? And you can, like I say, you can go into all this psychological, sociological horse crap. But I can tell you, almost every time it's within that, you look at somebody and go, this is my type of person. And as long as they don't blow that idea out of the water, right? And so again, you walk in, you're comfortable, you feel good, you know you look good. It's not about what these jackasses think, right? It doesn't matter what anybody else in the room thinks about your style. You know you look good, right? So you walk in, you feel good, you look good, you're in charge, right? And again, that's one thing to think about too. Like you say, well, you're in charge. But again, if you can't even control your own life, who the hell's gonna give you responsibility over anything, right? Because again, everybody's looking for like the Prince Charming. Everybody's looking for like that Daddy Warbucks or whatever that's gonna come out of the woodwork and say, oh, I've always been looking for somebody like you. I'm going to take you away to respect and riches and all that kind of crap. That's not how it is, right? I mean, if people do come out of the woodwork, again, they look at you, and what they're looking for is this somebody I can do something with, right? If they look at you, and you look put together, and you look confident, and you look sure of yourself, and you look comfortable in your own skin, it's like, you know, I do got a job, or I do got a contract, or I do got something. You know, you look like somebody I'm looking for, right? I say, if you don't even feel comfortable in what you're wearing, if you don't feel comfortable in what you're doing, you're saying, all right, who the hell wants to give you responsibility? Again, think about that. Why the hell would somebody give you $500,000 responsibility over something? Control over 10 or 20 or 30 people's jobs if you do not even control your own life? Again, just simple logic problems here, right? So that's why you go, I say, make sure when you go out, you got the clothes, you feel good, you look good. And again, too, one of the things I'm talking about, like with main conversation point today is uniforms. And also do realize, like, you don't always have to buy expensive clothes, right? You know, when I talk about being comfortable, one of the things, like one of the reasons I talk to you guys about money is, again, to show you the real world of money. And so for me, right, so I've got my Lucky's jeans on, right? These are Lucky's jeans. Woo! Aren't they pretty? Aren't they so pretty? So those are Lucky's jeans. Awesome jeans, right? It costs $130 a pair. And they are the best jeans in the world. Actually, I can't say I'll buy a dozen. I've probably bought a dozen over the years. Because they do wear out. They're a thinner denim. So, they've got, depending on how much I wear them, anywhere between 6 months to a year. So I've owned quite a few of them. But the thing to think about though, so I buy Lucky's jeans. But then the shirts that I buy is honestly, I had to say for shirts, Bass Outfitters is the answer. Bass Outfitters. So I don't know if you guys have Bass Outfitters where you are, but they're this weird, they're kind of like the Walmart of like hunting stores or whatever. No, I don't hunt, but you go in there, I'll pick up a shotgun and a pistol and a hunting knife and maybe a couple of dozen eggs too, right? I got everything in there. But the thing is, what I found with their clothing is like, it's like, or their shirts at least, the shirts are like baby soft and they're just very, very, very nice to wear. And again, like I've owned a lot of these over the years, but they're like $12 shirts. Truthfully. So again, that's one of the things too, like I say, with comfort and all that, I'm not necessarily saying you got to go out there and spend a whole lot of money on some designer clothing in order to feel cool. Again, like I say, I spend my money on my jeans. But again, shirts, the shirts I wear day in, day out, they're like $12 shirts. And again, but it's what you feel comfortable in. And that's one thing you have to think about, like with money and all that and what you spend money on, is it's not about spending money just to spend money. It's not like I'm gonna buy a $300 shirt because Eli tells me I need to have a good shirt. It's that you go out there and you find the shirts and you find the clothing and all that you feel good, and you look in the mirror. How does it look on you? How do you feel in it? Is it comfortable? Do you feel confident? And that's what you wear. Truthfully. Because if you can't control your own appearance to the world, why would anybody else give you any kind of money? Any kind of money, any kind of responsibility. Again, if you can't take care of yourself, how the hell are you going to take care of anything else? Right? Again, you may hate it. You may hate it. May be frustrated by me saying that, but it'd be true. But anyways, one of the things I was going to talk about today, though, is my uniforms. My uniforms. So I get a lot of crap on YouTube because I wear the same shirt all the time. So right now I have, normally on the video classes, I have those Under Armour shirts that I wear. So I have these bright orange Under Armour shirts. And people say, Eli, how many of those shirts do you wear? That must be smelling pretty bad by now. It's like, no, actually it doesn't, because I own like 7 of those. And so I went out today, or I went out a couple days ago, as my shirts have died, other shirts have died. And I went out and I bought these nice little Henley type long sleeve shirts. And also with these, I bought 5 of them. And when I say I bought 5 of them, I mean 5 identical. They're all orange and gray. They're 5 of these, right? And so this is something that you guys should be thinking about, like in the modern world. So everybody laughs at me when they hear that I buy like basically 5 of the same shirts. And I've been doing this for quite a while now. They're like, oh, ha ha ha, that's like Steve Jobs or whatever. But here's basically what I found out, why I basically essentially buy these uniforms all the time. Is one, at this point in my life, I am already married. Right? I'm not trying to go out there and be the guy. So I don't have to have a bunch of different clothes on, trying to be all Rico Suave all the time. Again, I have to walk in, I have to be comfortable, I have to look pretty decent, and that's all I really care about. And then the next thing that I found is basically by wearing the uniform is that I go out and I meet a lot of people, and I deal with a lot of people day in, day out. And one of the biggest issues that I have is that I don't necessarily know the people that I'm meeting, and the people that I'm meeting many times, it's the first time that they're ever meeting me. So the issue is like when you're going out to meet people, is that, how do people know who each other are, right? You see these old spy movies or whatever, and the person's like, I'll be the one with a red carnation or whatever in my collar or whatnot. And basically that's kind of the way I look at these shirts, is that it's my equivalent of the red or the white or whatever carnation. By always wearing the same types of shirts with the same color, with orange, because everybody likes my orange, then basically everybody knows what to look for when they're looking for me. So I can walk in to almost any environment with my nice orange on, and people go, oh, look, it's Eli the computer guy. And so this is one of the things that a lot of people don't think about, is like this whole idea of uniforms can make your life a hell of a lot easier, right? Because so much of people interacting with other people is whether or not they recognize you, whether or not they actually see that you exist. It was really curious, like back when I was running my shop, and I only had like I think there was only three. No, I had 3 employees, so there were 4 of us total. And it was really curious because we had these really bright orange shirts. So the shirts that I originally wore back when I was creating classes were our uniforms. And so they're bright orange shirts with smiley computer guy faces on them. And what was really curious is I was talking to people in the neighborhood where we had our business. And I swear to you, so I had 3 employees, and most people actually thought I had 20. And literally, I'm not exaggerating, like I know they thought I had 20 because they said, well, you must be up to like 20 employees now. And it was really weird, because I only got 3. Well, it was me, so I got 4. Like, how the hell do you think I have like 20 when I only have 4? And one of the reasons is because we had bright orange shirts, like bright motherfucking orange shirts. What we realized from a psychological standpoint is that whenever we walked by, or whenever we did anything in the neighborhood, everybody always noticed us go by. So think about it, you know, if you have a street full of people, and some people have beige clothes on and black clothes and gray, and they're all pretty, you know, they're this in this color scheme, it doesn't really stick out. And then you have a couple people who walk by in bright orange shirts. And the thing is, so what happens is the people in the bright orange shirts, it always registers in people's heads. Like whenever they saw one of my employees, it always registered that they saw one of our employees. So even though there were restaurants on the block, even though there were a lot of other businesses, people in other businesses with their uniforms were, again, fairly subdued uniforms. So when they walk by, people don't necessarily notice that they walk by. Anytime we walked by, they noticed. And so again, a lot of life isn't about what the real numbers are. It's what people perceive things to be. So if they always notice us, then they're thinking that there must be a hell of a lot more of us than there are. So again, they were thinking there were like 20 of us when there were only 4 at the time. And so this is one of the ways, like with uniforms and having bright colors and all that, you can actually exude a level of success for your business that frankly you may not have. Again, because if you're always running around and people always recognize every time they see you, then it makes your business look much bigger and much more successful than it may be. Now, why this is important in business is, remember, business is a lot like dating. Business is a lot like dating. The more popular you are, the more of the opposite sex is interested in you, right? You know, that cute guy out there, you know, who's dating the cheerleader. There's a bunch of other girls that's really interested in dating him. You know, the cute girl that's dating the quarterback. There's a bunch of other guys that really want to date her. On the other hand, there are also other very attractive people running around that nobody is even paying attention to. The reason is because, you know, it's just this human nature. We want what somebody else has. It's kind of like this confirmation bias or whatever. Basically, if I'm interested in somebody and somebody else is interested in somebody, then that means that person is good, right? If I'm interested in somebody but nobody else is interested in somebody, that means there's probably something wrong with that person that I didn't realize. So we go for the people, and again, the businesses that seem more successful. That's why successful businesses become more successful, and not so successful businesses kind of just trudge along at the same crappy level. Again, I mean, it's horrible to say. You're not allowed to say that in the modern world, but you know, inequality, I would argue inequality is almost hardwired into our system. Again, the people that are successful become more successful, and the people who are less successful become less successful. And so much of it is just bluntly, brutally hardwired into the system, even when you should know better. And so the thing is, if you walk around and you have like bright uniforms on, and people always see you in the bright uniforms, they think you're bigger and more successful than you actually are. Therefore, they feel more comfortable going to with you because obviously look at how big and successful you are, and then that's how you're able to grow. So this is one of those things you should be thinking about, like with uniforms and as far as business is concerned. Now the other thing that you should be thinking about, so you're like, okay, well, Eli, that's a curious concept from like the small business angle, but what about, you know, I'm just an employee in a company. Why should I wear a uniform? I mean, I know, Eli, I know you don't care about looking like a dumbass, but some of us care about how we look. You know, ignore the 350 pounds and ignore the food stains and ignore all that other stuff. But we care about how we look. We're not willing to look like you do, right? Well, one of the things that I would argue with uniforms, though, that work also in the enterprise world and the business world, is do remember, at the end of the day, you're going to get paid based off of experience, right? The more experience you have, the more money you will end up making. As long as you go out there and you're actually willing to, you know, hop jobs and negotiate salaries and all that. Again, there's some that goes into it, but really in our field, I mean, it really comes down to experience. The more experience you have, the more opportunities there will be. In our field, opportunities mean more profit, and then you become more successful. So one of the reasons why you should think about uniforms, right, or coming up with a uniform for your work environment, is because the more people actually recognize you, right, the more people actually see you, the more likely it is they're going to come up to you with their issues and seek you out for help. So, just like we were talking about when me and my guys were all running around in the orange shirts. And people always saw that, right? Well, one of the things that you should look around, you should do, is you should look around. Let's say you're in the desktop support department. And you look around the desktop support department, let's say you got 5 people. And they're all kind of geeky. And they all like black or gray now. I suppose in 2016 it's gray versus black. But, you know, it's all these kind of subdued colors. So think about that. When they walk through the building, when they walk through the enterprise, it's very easy just to kind of not see them. Right? You know, they walk by and people literally don't see them. There's certain colors that you just don't see. I did a class in private investigation years ago, and the guy was talking about that, where like how black, if you're gonna tail people, that you should really have a black car. And the reason is you would think a pure black car would stick out like a sore thumb, but the reality is since basically black in the color spectrum is absence of color, black cars don't get recognized. Even when you look at them, the brain doesn't really interpret it. It's like, yeah, you see the car, but for some reason it just doesn't get processed. It doesn't get recorded even to short-term memory. It's like you look and it's white car, red car, orange car, black, and it's like orange car. And then even for short-term memory, it's like, again, white car, red car, you know, blue car, you know, aqua car. Like somehow, like it just doesn't get recorded, right? And so you have all these people, and they're walking by in these dark clothes. And again, they're not necessarily the nicest people in the world to begin with. And they don't get recognized by people because they have those dark colors. So they kind of got camouflaged because they're running through the building. And then they're not so nice. So even when they're seen, people don't really want to deal with them. Now imagine if you walk in and you get a nice, colorful color palette. I would say like a bright color. You know, and you start wearing relatively bright colors. I mean, again, I'm not saying wear fucking neon, right? I'm not saying you go out and you buy neon colors like I do, but wear bright colors. Like wear colors and wear clothing that when you're walking on the other side of the cubicle farm, people can actually spot you and recognize you as you. And that's where I'd argue is you come up with a color, right? And again, whatever color you want. Please don't pick orange. Orange is mine. If all of you bastards out there start wearing orange, that's not a compliment. That's just weird. But find a color you like, right? Find a relatively bright color. Green, I like green. Green is the color of money. Yellow, yellow's not so great for seasonal, but like green or aqua, or purple, you know, nice bright purples or whatever. Come up with that one color. So when you walk in, you have this uniform on, and every day you wear the same color, so that when you walk across the cubicle farm, people recognize that it's you. Because then what they're gonna do is they're gonna go, hey, Bob, I need your help for a second. And then you're gonna look around and be like, well, I guess I can help. And you're gonna put a smile and you're gonna say, yes, I guess I can help you. Or if you're running by and you got something to do, you'll be like, look, I highly apologize. I'm very, very busy at the second, but let me swing by in half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, and I'll be able to help you. I would love to help you. I've just got to do something for the boss right at the second. I'll swing by. Okay. And then you go there, and then they tell you whatever the hell the stupid-ass problem is. And then you smile as you fix the stupid-ass problem. Now, you're probably sitting there, right? If you are a part of the modern generation, the modern workforce, you're going, Eli, that's so stupid. Damn it, Eli, you're stupid. Why are you stupid sometimes? So you're telling me I'm going to walk around in this uniform. I'm going to walk around in this uniform. I'm going to feel like an idiot. And then people are going to recognize me. And they're always going to be coming up to me, asking me for help. I'm going to feel like an idiot. And then I'm going to be doing more work. How stupid are you, Eli? Well, here's the thing, right? Again, if you want to get to the nice cushy life, if you want to get to the life where you really don't care about the users, when you want to get to the life where you can turn down the checks and you can tell people to pound sand all day long. Yeah, like literally, somebody emailed me today to get work done for consulting work. And I said, it was my quote. It was like, can I do what you're asking? Probably yes. It was like, how much would it cost to do what you're asking? $1 more than you're willing to pay. Right? And you know why I can say really snotty shit like that? Because it don't fucking matter. I'm gonna be eating steak tonight regardless. Well, not actually steak. The highest quality broccoli you can buy, right? Because again, once you get to a certain place, it doesn't matter. You just don't. You can turn down jobs because it doesn't matter. There's other more interesting jobs coming down the pike. Again, the big problem I see with you guys is you guys are on fucking desktop support trying to act like you're me. You ain't. Again, you can be someday. I'm not saying not never. I'm not saying you will never be impressive. I'm just saying you're not right now. You're a 20-something-year-old desktop support snot. When you get to be somewhere impressive, then you'll know. But the thing is, remember, like I say, in order to get to be somewhere impressive, you got to have that experience. The more experience you have, the more people are willing to come to you, the more likely it is you're going to get opportunities and you're going to get promotions and you're going to get all that other stuff, right? So when you have that nice, bright uniform on and you walk in every day, again, just think of it from just a basic standpoint. You go in every day, and let's say the average number of work orders that your desktop support department deals with is, let's say, 10, right? 10 work orders every day. So you walk in, and you've got that nice uniform on. So let's say 2 more people a day walk up to you, right? And they say, hey, you know, I put a work order in the system. I see you walking by. Is there any way you can just take a look at my system really quick? And again, a lot of the problems these users have are relatively simple to fix. All right? And so let's say, you know, the average number of work orders done per day is 10, and now you're doing 12 because people recognize you. Every time they walk by, hey, they recognize you, you're good to deal with, they like dealing with you, and therefore they're always coming and they're asking you for help. Now, what you can think about is you can whine, you can cry, you can bitch, you can moan, you can it's extra work, Eli, or you can see it as the opportunity that it is. So basically, from an experience level, right? At the experience level, think about this. So your fellow coworkers on desktop support, let's say they clear 50 work orders per week, right? So 10 work orders per day times 5. Ooh, big math, 50. Now you, because you got your uniform on, because people come up to you and they actually want you to help them, let's say you get 12. You can get 12 work orders done per day. And again, we're not talking about insane numbers here. We're not talking about 20 or 25 or 30. You're just doing 12 per day, right? So that means at the end of a 5-day week, you'll get 60 work orders done when they've only gotten 50 work orders done. So essentially what you're really doing is you're getting 1 day additional experience every week compared to what they're getting. So over a month, it averages out to about 5, or in a month, right? You get another 40 or 50 hours. So about every month, you're getting an additional week's worth of experience. So that means basically you're increasing your experience level much more quickly than the rest of the people on the team. So you're increasing your experience level, you're interacting and dealing with more people, which again, when you have to think about is that when the managers and the C-levels and all that are sitting around a table and a position comes open, again, it's not about what you know. It's not about who you know. It's about who knows you. It's about all the conversations going on in the background that you don't even realize are happening, right? So let's say there's the whole department, all the managers are sitting around a table, and the IT manager for your office is about to get promoted or about to quit or about to leave for some reason, right? And so they're having a discussion. They're all having a discussion. Okay, who's going to get promoted? Do we hire somebody from the outside or do we promote from the inside? What do we do? And then I tell you what, you think the person that's going to promote you or be important is your director or the CIO or something like that. I tell you what, it's probably going to be the marketing the marketing manager. And the marketing manager is going to raise their hand and go, you know what? I have to say, Bob's really good at helping people out. Every time I have any problem, I can always find him. I know where he's at. Whenever I ask him for help, he always smiles, always does what needs to be done. If we've got a position open, I think that guy should be managing. Imagine if he can help get the rest of the team doing that. And then other people are going to look around and go like, hell yeah, you know what? Yeah, that person does do a good job, right? And again, it's the conversations that are going on that you don't even know that are happening. And the only way that people will talk about you is if you do anything that's remarkable. Basically, that you actually stick out, that people recognize you as an individual, and that they're happy with what you do. Because again, that's one thing to be thinking about too. Like, okay, let's say you have 5 or 6 people on your desktop support team plus your manager. So let's say you have 6 people on your desktop support team plus your manager, so 7 people. Again, so imagine the managers are having this discussion. And think about normal desktop support people, right? They're kind of shy, they're kind of aspy-ish, they're wearing subdued clothing. And so there's the whole question of who do you promote? And again, think about it in the real world. You have a whole bunch of managers all kind of staring at each other going, crap, I should know the names of the desktop support people. Crap. What are their names? Who works in the desktop support department? And then again, somebody goes, oh, I know, Bob. Yeah, Bob, right? And again, that's how it goes. Like, oh, who do you actually remember? Again, like so much, it's like, oh, who has the MCSE or who has this, who has that? And so many times it's about, people are sitting around the table going, crap, does anybody remember any names in that department? Hey, that guy who's always wearing purple? Yeah, I like that guy who always wears purple. Let's promote the guy who wears purple. And there's a whole bunch of managers right now that watch this. They kind of shrug their shoulders and go, yeah. Sometimes it's just the guy who wears purple that gets the promotion. Because again, remember, like I say, as a business owner and as a manager, who's going to work good in a position and who's not? It's so much a flip of a coin. It's really surprising. Like some people that you think are going to be the best turn out to be worthless. Some people that you think are going to be worthless turn out to be the best. And so like I say, for like promotions and all that kind of stuff, is you look at things personally. You look at things egotistically. You say, I am the best. You should know that I am the best. Right? When what you have to realize is for the management, again, they're looking at 5, 6, 10, 50 people. And again, they're going to promote one of those 50 people and make one of those people happy, and then they're going to piss off the other 49. What they know at the end of the day is that one person is going to be happy and 49 are going to be pissed off. That's what they know. They know no matter what they do, 49 people are going to be pissed off, right? Because that's the thing. You're all thinking like, oh, they should promote me because I'm the best. And you have all these managers going, you know what? No matter what decision I make today, 49 people are going to be pissed. One person might be happy. And here's the thing, the horrible thing in the modern world is that one person is probably going to give me crap for some reason for promoting. I'm going to promote them. I'm going to give them a raise. And somehow they're going to tell me, and you're like, oh, right. And so that's the thing. So they're just looking at like, huh, who should we promote? Hey, I like that person in the purple all the time. Sounds good to me. So these are some of the things you guys should be thinking about as far as uniforms and all that are concerned. Because uniforms really do, like I say, they make your life easier. And one of the things that I've noticed, like I say, getting older, is that there are certain clothes that I just like. There's certain clothes that I feel very comfortable in, and that others that I don't. So even up until a couple years ago, like when I went out to buy clothing, I buy different clothes. So I go to Nordstrom or I go to whatever thing, and I'd buy like 5 or 6 different t-shirts, right? There'd be this kind of t-shirt and this t-shirt and this t-shirt and the other t-shirt. Because again, I wanted multiple options. And then what I found is I buy like 6 new shirts. And frankly, 3 of them, once I wore them for a day, I really didn't like. And then, 1 or 2 of them, they're pretty good. Those are okay. And then there's one shirt that I love, right? And the one shirt, every time it's clean, I just wear the hell out of it. Right? And right? There's different feels to the fabric. There's different cuts. Do you like it open around the neck or do you like it closed? Where does a shirt fall on your wrist? There's all these things that makes something feel comfortable. And so you go out there and you don't want to be a dweeb like me. He wants to be a dweeb like Eli, the computer guy, and wear a uniform. So you go out there and you buy all these different shirts because you don't want to seem dweeby. But then, like I say, you spend all this money on all these different clothes, and then there's only one shirt you actually like. So again, as I say, you go out there, you buy you find the shirt that you really like, and then you buy 5 of the exact same one. It's true. It's true. And the other thing too is like as far as social and all that is concerned, as long as you buy nice clothing, or clothing that at least looks nice on you, you normally actually don't get that much crap from other people. Like everybody's always worried, like, oh, what will other people think about me? And again, most of the time people get snarky about folks. It's when they look like crap, right? Again, you've got the geeks in the office, and they've got stains on their clothing. They don't put on deodorant regularly. And again, it's not, the fact that they wear a uniform or whatever isn't what people are really laughing about. What they're laughing about is you're kind of fucking disgusting, to be honest with you, right? And again, make sure you clean yourself, make sure you shave, make sure you're looking good. And then, like I said, like uniform thing, that's a quirk. Yeah, it's a quirk. Anyways, so that is my thought on clothing and uniforms and all that kind of stuff today. You want to feel good, you want to stand out, and that's what you want to think of. But when was the last time you walked through your office and somebody like called out for you or like ran you down to find you, right? Because that's the thing, like so many geeks, they just want to be camouflaged. Like if I can get through this cubicle farm and nobody sees me, all the better. What the fuck? How are you going to get experience if nobody even sees that you're there? Right? And again, that's what we get paid for. It's experience, 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 experience. You know what? If your teammates are lazy and they don't want to do the work orders, do more. It's experience. Again, at the end of the day, go home, right? The end of and this is where, again, there's a difference between being submissive and respecting authority. And so I'm not saying be overly submissive, right? At the end of your 8-hour day, or however long your day is supposed to be, you go the fuck home. You don't take other people's work if it's going to require you unpaid overtime. Balls to that crap. But what I'm saying is if you're at work anyway, what the hell else are you really gonna do? That's one thing I don't understand with this modern world. This whole idea that work is a bad thing. That I should go to the job and basically do as little work as possible. They're not paying me for. And you're like, what, so you're gonna give up all that experience simply because you don't believe you're getting paid for something? Like if it's me, right, and I'm just an asshole, this is how an asshole does it. I go in there, I do as much work, I get as much experience possible, and if they don't want to pay me what my new experience is worth, then I go find another job. But again, like a lot of you guys, well, if they want me to do more work, they need to pay me more. But here's the thing, right? If you really want to get paid more, really the way you need to get paid more is to get another job. See, you're coming and you're interviewing with me, and you say, my company isn't paying me enough. I do desktop support. And I look at you and I say, well, how much are you making? You say, I don't know, 15 to 20 bucks an hour. And it's like, okay, well, you do desktop support. What else do you do? Well, desktop support. If you want me to do more, I'd be more than happy to do more. I'd be more than happy to go to whatever training you want to pay for. And I'm like, huh. So you make 15 to 20 bucks an hour, whatever, this place, doing pretty crappy desktop support. You're leaving without really anything additional in the time you've been there. Why would I pay you more money? That doesn't make a damn bit of sense. On the other hand, you have another person walk in and they go, okay, what do you do? It's like, well, you know, I do desktop support. How much you make? $15, $20 an hour. It's like, okay, well, why are you leaving? It's like, well, honestly, you know, I got hired to do desktop support. I've been doing desktop support. But over the past year and a half, they've also had me doing, you know, system administrator work. I've been creating the group policies for the company. I've been doing these installations. So the company, you know, we bought a new building and I was the one who took charge to install the cabling and everything for the building. It's like, listen, you know, my title is desktop support. And so I get paid based off of my title. But at this point, my title doesn't match my responsibilities. And I've been doing these responsibilities long enough that if I'm gonna do this job, I might as well have a position with that title and the pay that's equivalent. And then I look at that and go, oh, well, yeah, crap, this guy's worth 25, whatever bucks an hour. That makes a lot of sense, right? And again, that's the thing, oh, I'm only gonna do the work you pay. You don't pay me to do. What the hell, you're there anyway. You're there for 8 hours. Do your good solid 8 hours of work. And again, take your lunch like you're supposed to. Take your bathroom breaks like you're supposed to. Don't do unpaid overtime, right? Don't be submissive. Don't just sit there and say, ah, beat me. On the other hand, you know, go in there and get this experience, work with things, right? And the other thing too is, like I say, if you really shine, even doing desktop support, you get brought into more meetings, right? When all the managers are sitting around talking, and you're going out there and you're doing more work than everybody else is, well then, you know, when there's questions about the ticketing system, right? So again, ticketing systems, work order systems are big things in companies, so maybe there's a change. You know, okay, we're looking at migrating to a different ticketing system. Okay, we're gonna have to talk with one of the desktop support people to make sure how they actually interact with it. It's like, oh, okay, well, hey, you know that person in purple, Bob or whatever, call him in. And well, let's see what he thinks, right? Because he's the one that sticks out. And then you're in the room, right? And again, I'm telling you guys, being in the room with managers and owners is an entirely different world than peon employees. It really is. It's a different mindset. It's a different worldview. How you go about life is just different, right? So you go in there and you start listening about what the managers care about, what they're talking about, all that. And it's where you do well. And again, it's all like the, not necessarily the normal professional stuff you think about, but you know, you go in there and you hear how, let's say everybody, your management team, they all play golf. Not everybody plays golf anymore, but let's just imagine your management team, they all play golf. And so you sit there and you go, huh, these folks, they always go out and once a month or whatever, they're always playing golf. So the way to talk with them outside the business environment is to play golf. And so what do? Put a couple bucks aside. You don't necessarily do your MCSE quite yet. One of the things you do is you go out and you start learning golf. And the next time you see your manager, you go, hey, got a question for you. It's like, oh, I can't give you a raise. No, I'm not asking about raise. Oh, what are you asking about? Well, you know, I went out and I started playing golf. And I really have to say, I'm kind of really enjoying golf. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, playing golf. Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, yeah, I can tell you some stuff about golf. What about golf? It's like, well, you know, I'm out at this particular, you know, whatever, golf course, and seems a little flat. Are there any more interesting golf courses around? Oh, interesting golf course. Oh, let me tell you. Oh, there's this beautiful one. Have you been out north of the city right by the lake? Well, yeah, I've been up there. I didn't know there was a golf. Oh, it's the most beautiful golf course you ever seen. Oh, I tell you what, you pretty, you okay? You okay? Well, yeah, I'm okay. I'm still new. I'm not playing for points yet. Yeah, that's good. We were all new at one point. Tell you what, I'm going out this weekend, Saturday. We're going out. We're doing 18 holes. Why don't you come with us, right? That is where real business is done. Real business is done far, far, far away from the money. Far, far, far away from the business. It's just being out there with people, having conversations. And again, oh, that's office politics. Yes, it is. Again, I ain't here to talk about morals or ethics or any of that crap. I'm here to tell you how the world works. You go out and you get used to golfing with the management team, and guess what? Pretty soon, they can't be golfing with one of their mucking employees. They're sitting there having a meeting and going, I really like that guy. I really like that girl. I really like that Z. Really good golfing, but, it doesn't look good. We're out here like, a guy came over to my house. We had a couple of beers the other night. I mean, he's been having a good time, but, he's one of our employees. We can't, I'm not sure how I feel about this. But like, yeah, I know what you mean, And you know what? I mean, we just promote him. Won't be an employee anymore, right? Won't be on the peon. Ah, you're all right. We do got that position open. I think it can do it. I think it can do it. Sure, yeah, let's just give it to him, right? I need a good golf partner. And I know there's some hipsters some hippies out there, some social justice warriors, SJWs right now, that are just beating their head against the desk as they hear this. But yeah, that's how the real world works. Why do you get promoted? Because you wore a purple shirt and people liked you as a golf partner. And it's true. And so here's the thing. You can either argue about that and scream about that and say, Eli, it's not right. This is not proper. This is not how the world should be. Or you can go out, you can start learning how to golf. Or whatever the hell it is your management team does. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I hate, like, with this whole, like, so much of the minority stuff and so much of the women stuff and so much of this whole millennial mindset is everybody's talking about how things should be. That's wrong. They shouldn't be that way. Here's the thing. It's how the world is. I don't know how the world should be. I have seen a lot of stuff in my life. I have no damn idea how the world should be. I don't. I just know how it is. And that's the thing, if you think like office politics, if you think like wearing a uniform, if you think about all these things that actually, in fact, nobody's kept from doing, right? Women can golf. Women can wear uniforms. Black people can golf. Black people can wear uniforms. Everybody can deal with people with a smile on their face. And you go out there and you try to get hired into a company that has a culture that you like, that you mesh with, and then you mesh with that culture, and then you get ahead. But how many people, I should have had to learn how to golf. Well, you know what I'm saying? If you tell me, that's the thing, like as a white male, let me tell you a white male lesson. Let me tell you a real white male lesson. When I was growing up, and I was a white little boy growing up, here's what I was told. I was told, Eli, yes, if you are told that all the real decisions in life are made on the golf course, do you know what you need to do, Eli? What? Learn golf. That's what white boys are taught. Again, I don't know about anybody else. I cannot talk about women. I cannot talk about African Americans. I can't talk about Z's. But I can tell you, as a little white boy, that's what I was told. Eli, yes, if all the decisions are made on the golf course, yes, get on the damn golf course. Okay. And I tell you what, it works. It works. And then that's the thing. And then once you're a manager, once you're the manager, once you're the person in power, then you can make changes. Then you can make your own decisions. Again, Obama does a basketball thing in the White House. Does anybody else play basketball in the White House? I don't think so. But damn it, he's in the White House, so he can play basketball, right? So when you're 40, and when you're a manager, and when you're making money, and you really actually fucking hate golf, you can say, I'm not doing golf. I'm doing basketball, or I'm doing rugby, or I'm doing that weird like field hockey thing they do in Ireland where they like zing like these baseball, they crack and like you don't get hit by the baseball. That looks brutal, right? But you know what I'm saying? Like once you're in charge, you can make those decisions. When you're a peon, nobody gives a damn who you are, right? Don't fight the man as a peon. Fight the man when you are the man, right? You know, what was it, as my friend said, why do we think we can change the world when we can't change our own family? So think about this. Your own friends, your own family, all those people. Can you change those people? Probably not, right? Most people can't. My wife, right, you tell them what they should do or shouldn't do and they look at you like you're an idiot. So again, think about it. Your boss is going to look at you the same way. So what's going to work? What's going to be effective? Telling your boss how they should be different, or working your way up the ladder so that you are the boss and then you deciding to be different. The only person we can ever change is ourselves. So if we want the man to change, then probably the easiest way is to become the man and then do it differently than the last person. Would be my thought. The decisions are made on the golf course. Get on the damn golf course, jackasses. You know. But anyways, those are the thoughts with uniforms and clothing and all that kind of stuff. The parting words of the day are A, get on the damn golf course, and B, feel comfortable. Again, it doesn't matter how people think about how you look. It matters how you feel. If you're comfortable and confident, that's all that matters. And hopefully I'll feel the same way tomorrow. So tomorrow is a first meetup. So the first Eli the Computer Guy, the Silicon Discourse ETCG meetup is tomorrow night at the Wegmans up in Hunt Valley. So I think we either got 4 or 5 people signed up. So that should be interesting. So we got like 4 or 5 people signed up for tomorrow, and then in North Carolina we got 4 or 5 people showed us to sign up. So that might be interesting. I think the Silicon Discourse thing, I'm hoping, I'm thinking this might be a way of doing meetups that I actually like. Like I say, the whole tech business mastermind group. I'm liking the thought of this. I'm thinking with all of my experiments, this one might work out. Of course, unless it doesn't, and then I'll just throw it away and do something else. But I'm hopeful. That's the thing. It's like that's the thing as an entrepreneur. You always believe that your current idea is the one that will change the world, right up until the point you realize it's unworkable, and then you throw it away and you're finding your next idea. Repeat 20 or 30 times, and you'll find something really amazing. And with that, we will call it a day.